Hey Book Dragons, I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm doing a book tag today. This is the Booktube Community Joy Tag. And this was created by Pat over at Book Chat with Pat, and I'm really glad she created this tag. I think it's really awesome. So we're going to get right down to it here. Eyes are going on, as always, and I love how this is broken down into different sections: joy, friendship, gratitude, things like that. And it also has different quotes, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to read the quotes and read the prompts, and you know the drill. You probably watched some of my book tags before, so here we go. The first prompt is joy. And the quote is, "Let's be grateful to the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom." And that's a quote by Marcel Proust. And I've never read any of Marcel Proust, but that's a really good quote. The first prompt is, name an author whose books bring you joy, or discuss a specific book that made you feel joyful. And I have to go with T.J. KLUNE on this one. I've only read The House in the Cerulean Sea and Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and I absolutely loved them. They brought me so much joy and laughter and sorrow, and all the emotions are wrapped up in those books, and I was just so happy with my experience, and they did bring me a lot of joy. And I want to read more T.J. KLUNE now that I've read those books and see what his other books are like, but I really, really enjoyed those books, and I highly recommend them. Prompt number 2, discuss something about Booktube that you find joyful. Well, and I think it's right in the name of the tag, actually, and that's the community. I think the best feature of Booktube is the people that make up Booktube. The community here is just so welcoming, so loving and caring and compassionate. I've really never had a bad experience on Booktube and among other Booktubers, and I just think it's so awesome. So if you yourself do Booktube, you probably know that to be a fact, or if you've participated in the comments sections, you've probably had some really pleasant interactions, and I think that is one of the biggest things that keeps me going on Booktube is the community. I think it would be really easy doing YouTube to get burned out and to get frustrated and maybe even to the point of just wanting to give up sometime. But the community is what keeps me coming back and wanting to have more book interactions with these people. It's just amazing. So thank you, Booktube, for being such an amazing community. The next section is friendship. Kindred spirits are not so scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out there are so many of them in the world. And that's from L.M. Montgomery from Anne of Green Gables. I haven't read Anne of Green Gables either. Probably won't, to be honest. But that's a great quote. The third prompt is discuss a book that focuses primarily on friendship. And this would be actually the entire TAWNY MAN trilogy by Robin Hobb. That's part of the larger realm of the Elderlings, and it focuses specifically on the relationship between Fitzchivalry Farseer and the Fool, and I just think it is a beautiful study in friendship and the ups and downs of friendship, building trust between friends. I am there every chance I get to read more about their friendship, so I can't pick one specific book in that trilogy. The Farseer trilogy, the original trilogy, has some of that too, but not nearly as much as Tawny Man. I think so far from what I've read, that's the pinnacle of a study in friendship, is that particular trilogy. So, it's absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend it. So, grab a swig of tea here. All right, so we're moving on to laughter, and I love to laugh. I do. I love any book that gives me a good laugh. And here's a quote. There's nothing like deep breaths after laughing that hard. Nothing in the world like a sore stomach for the right reasons. So true. And that's from Stephen Chbosky, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Another book I haven't read. I've heard that one's good. I might check it out at some point. So, the fourth prompt after that quote is, discuss an author or a specific book that makes you laugh. And that would be Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Ames. I don't remember ever laughing so hard at various points throughout a book as I did with Kings of the Wyld. It was just absolutely hilarious. Specific characters, especially like Arcandius Moog, just, oh my gosh. I laughed so hard and couldn't stop laughing on various occasions because that book was just so funny. And if you're not familiar with it, it's really great. It's patterned after 70s and 80s rock bands, following this group of old mercenaries who get back together for one last mission to save the family member of one of their own. It's just so much fun and so funny because, these guys are in their 50s, 60s. They're probably thinking they're too old for this shit, and they just don't. they just really don't want to be having to do this, but they're doing it anyway, and it's just wonderful. It's absolutely hilarious. So I highly recommend Kings of the Wyld if you have not read it. All right, so community. We cannot live only for ourselves. 1,000 fibers connect us with our fellow men. And that's from Herman Melville, who I believe wrote Moby Dick. I have not read any of Herman Melville. But prompt number 5 following that is discuss a book where the idea of community is important. And that would be Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. That book is so wrapped up in community. Building a place that people can gather and get to know each other and spend time together and bring their laughs and their hurts and their desires and frustrations into a place of common purpose where everyone can just be themselves. And I know that sounds like the TV show Cheers, but it really is kind of that atmosphere. This little coffee shop called Legends and Lattes, everybody meets over a good drink and a good pastry. So many great relationships are made, and there's not really high stakes in this book, but there are a couple of things that happen that really show you what community is all about. And so I think it's just a beautiful portrayal of community, and I highly recommend that book. I still need to read Bookshops and Bone Dust. I wanted to read that as well. I haven't done so yet, but Legends and Lattes is fantastic for community. And then prompt number 6 is discuss a communal reading experience that you have had. And, I've done a few buddy reads and group reads and things like that. But I think the one that really sticks out in my mind is the Dark Tower chats that I had with Philip Chase and Mike from Mike's Book Reviews and a couple of other people. We would get together after reading a couple of books here and there and have discussions on the Dark Tower, and I thought that was just a fantastic experience. It really enhanced my read-through of the Dark Tower, and I'm just really, really thankful that I was able to be part of that group. I've done so many meaningful buddy reads and group reads, but I think that one really sticks out. I also wanted to mention that I've been reading through The Realm of the Elderlings with my friend Danielle over at Bookara, and that has been a really amazing reading experience as well. So I'm really thankful for people in my life that I met through Booktube, that we can get together and have these discussions on important books, because I feel like that really does enhance the reading experience. And I'm glad that Pat put this question on this tag, because it's a really neat chance to highlight the importance of community when reading. So Absolutely love those experiences, and I definitely recommend joining in buddy reads and group reads in general. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we're going to move on, and the final section here is called Gratitude. And there's a quote from William Shakespeare: "I can no other answer make but thanks and thanks," and that's from Twelfth Night. And prompt number 7 is name a book in which a character demonstrates real gratitude, or name a book that left you feeling a sense of gratitude. And I think for this I have to go with The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And it's just a wonderful book. Gratitude is showcased numerous times throughout the book. I think the strongest display of gratitude that I personally saw in that book was the gratitude that Frodo showed Sam for all the times that Sam saved Frodo from himself. I think everybody needs a Sam in their life, and it just reminded me of Sams in my life. People that are like that for me in my life, and I just came away with a real sense of gratitude for that, and also a real sense of gratitude to J.R.R. Tolkien for all that he's done for the fantasy genre through that work. It's just an amazing piece of literature and offers so many teachable moments and heartwarming moments, and there's a really strong sense of community throughout that book, whether it's with the Fellowship or the Hobbit community or the New Kingdom at the end. I saw so many instances of great community displayed there, and in so many instances of gratitude specifically. It's an excellent book. I highly recommend it if you have not read it. I'm going to be doing a reread of Lord of the Rings next year in 2025. I'm going to be listening to the audiobooks with Andy Serkis narrating, and I'm really excited to re-experience The Lord of the Rings. It's been several years, so if you are interested in reading Lord of the Rings, you really should. I highly recommend it. And that is the end of this tag. I am so thankful to Pat for creating this tag. And I'm going to go ahead and tag some people now. I know for sure I'm going to tag a couple of people that I already mentioned as part of the tag, and that's Dr. Philip Chase and also Danielle over at Bookcara. I'm going to go ahead and tag them. I'd love to see Alyssa over at Into the Heart WYLD do this. I'm going to tag Anna Marie over at Distilled Reads. I think she would really enjoy doing this tag as well. My friend Mona Lisa over at Mona Lisa Reads should also do this tag. And I don't think my buddy Theo over at Rekindled Reads has done this tag, so I'm going to go ahead and tag him as well. And that's it. And if you're watching this and you would like to do this tag, feel free. You can even leave your answers below if you don't really have a Booktube channel and you want to share some of your answers below in the comments. Please feel free to do that. I would love to see it. And let me know what you thought of my answers as well in the comments below. And until next time, guys, make sure you read more books. I'll talk with you soon. And speaking of community, I'd like to give a huge shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate all you do to support my channel. You are a wonderful part of my community, and I appreciate you so much.